Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
It's crazy that we live in a world that if you're super positive and super creative, that it's scary. So what does that tell you about the mentality of most people if you're scared of like positivity and creativity? Like I have no intent to do anything negative to anyone. I only want, more positive things to happen.
I think people focus too much on the past and focus too much on regret. Even like when you deal with schools, like you take like the slave idea. My point is, I've heard of history class. I've never heard of a class that breaks down how you balance a checkbook or how you control your finances, which my father never taught me that. And I've never heard of future class. So they keep us so focused on history that we start to believe that it actually repeats itself. And we become overly traditional and we can't advance as a race of beings. We get too caught up in the past and what everyone's saying and what everyone's tweeting. And sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation. I am a pop artist, so my medium is public opinion. And the world is my canvas. I'm sorry is something that you can use a lot. It gives you the opportunity to give your opinion, apologize for it, and give your opinion again. People say, you should not be sorry for your opinions. George Bush has some very cool self-portraits. I didn't know he was an artist. I felt my nerves a bit, and I don't feel that feeling a lot. The nerves of humility and modesty when being honored.
Well, I'm just a creative. I'm more like a Walt Disney or something. Like rap is just a chamber of my thoughts. It's something that I really wanted to express as a modern day, poet. Because, if I lived in a past lifetime, maybe I would have been a playwright or something. But in this lifetime, to be the most relevant is to be a rock star. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you can express, at the highest level there. And for me, I came from, art school and everything. I would, draw out all these ideas and all these concepts. And the more and more I get to create, the younger and younger and younger I feel. So, when I did Glow in the Dark, I felt young. I felt like I was 5 years old. When I, got into a little trouble and stuff, I felt like I had to grow up. When I did Dark Fantasy, then I felt like I was 10. Then I did, Blueprint 3, then Watch the Throne, then Cruel Summer. And then when I got to, Yeezus, I just felt frustrated. And usually I would start the album with like Blood on the Leaves. I know everybody would even like the album more if I did that, but I felt so frustrated in the way I've been marginalized and held back.
My daughter went to a fashion camp for 5 days a couple weeks ago. And I visited her, and we put the thread through the sewing machine, and it really brought me to tears to think about the 15 years that I've been working on apparel, and for my friend Virgil to be the head of Louis Vuitton, and for me to have this, $1.8 billion company out of, a thread going through, and my daughter asked me, Daddy, do you have a sewing machine like this at your office? And I brought her to my office, and she did a bunch of sketches, and my head pattern cutter made her dresses right there for her. So she loves coming to the office and doing sketches. What we want is a real shot. Not, okay, I'm a celebrity, so that means my line has to cost $10 a t-shirt. No, I understand about quality. I understand about fabrics. I spent 10,000 hours at this. I dedicated my life to this. Then a lot of people say, okay, well, you have to do music. I'm gonna keep doing music, but what if people told me I couldn't rap? What would have happened? What if people told me I couldn't perform? I'm only 36 years old. I have other goals and other things, and I'm gonna use my platform, every platform, to stand up and say, I wanna make something. I wanna make the next Ralph Lauren. that say people don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, spoofed in a way. And the irony of it is so many people that are creatives, think about a creative person in school. When you picture them, you probably picture them all the way in the back of class, sketching or maybe getting beat up. And I'm the one creative, and this is the reason why I went on stage. This is the reason why I did this, because creatives have got beat up my entire life. And there's moments where I stood up to drug dealers in Chicago and said, you can't have my publishing, come and kill me. Do whatever you're gonna do, but you're not going to bully me. You're not gonna just stop me, because my mother made me believe in myself. No matter how many people tell me, stop believing in yourself. Stop saying what you can do. Stop affirming what you're gonna do and then completing that in real life. That's the improper way to do it. I refuse to follow those rules that society has set up in the way that they control people with low self-esteem, with improper information, with branding, with marketing. I refuse to follow those rules. It's about truth, it's about information, it's about awesomeness, and the only luxury is time. The time you spend with your family. That's the only luxury. So now let's take life where there's, people who have, issues with me, as Kanye West would say. They classify, my motivational speeches as like rants and things like this. Like, why is he saying that? Why is he doing that? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I've reached a point in my life where my Truman Show boat has hit the painting. And I've got to a point that Michael Jackson did not break down. I have reached the glass ceiling. As a creative person, as a celebrity. When I say that, it means I want to do product. I am a product person. Not just clothing, but water bottle design, architecture, everything, that you could, think about. And I've been at it for 10 years. And I look around, I say, wait a second, there's no one around here in this space that looks like me. And if they are, they're quiet as So that means, wait a second, now we're seriously like in a civil rights movement. Like people used to joke about, do you remember our South Park photo?
Yeah, I do.
Remember how funny that was? Do you think there would be a Givenchy in the hood if it wasn't for that South Park photo?
Yeah. Are you a workaholic? Are you always working?
No, I actually slept a lot during the project.
While they were recording?
Yeah, I have a team and we work together. I spent a year and a half after I got out the hospital, and I would go to Amoeba record store and I just start chopping up samples. It was very therapeutic because I wasn't full yet. I don't know if I'm full yet now, better or worse, whatever, but it was therapeutic just to listen to those songs and sample and go back to being 14 years old in my mom's house. And by the time it was time to do to put the albums out, we have a whole team at Yeezy Sound that will help come and do the drums, help with lyrics, help with choruses, and I'd give like 6, 7 people ideas that I want on the song, and I just go to sleep.
When I had my accident, I found out at that moment, nothing in life is promised except death. If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past. And then you gotta tell those Al Bundy stories. You remember when But right now is my time and my moment. Thanks to the fans, thanks to the accident, thanks to God, thanks to Rockefeller, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, G, my mother, Rhyme Fest, everyone that's helped me. And I plan to celebrate. I plan to celebrate and scream and pop champagne every chance I get, cause I'm at the Grammys, baby. I know everybody asked me the question. They wanted to know what kind. I know he's gonna wild out and he's gonna do something crazy. Everybody wanted to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
You guys are being taught, without you knowing it, ways to separate yourselves from each other. If you're separated, you can be easily controlled. This humanity that I talk about, this civilization I talk about, this future utopia idea that I talk about, can only happen through collaboration. You know, ideas are free.
and you can't be selfish. People ask me, how my daughter is doing. She's only doing good if your daughter is doing good. We're all one family. Like literally, last names aside, we're all one family. And we have the ability to approach our race like ants, or we have the ability to approach our race like crabs. And imagine if everyone's main focus, more so than how they were going to the club, their main focus was to help someone else.